Hey learner, this is Nilesh Borate. So in this video we are going to see the control flow statement. So we see the one by one how to use if statement, while statement, for statement, do while, and one more new is that when statement. Many syntax and many features are new in a Kotlin language. So let's see the one by one. So first we have to see that the Kotlin if expression. So in Kotlin, if is an expression in which return a value. It is used for control the flow of a program structure. So there is a various type of if expression in a Kotlin. So first one is that by using the if else. So if execute a certain section of code, if the test expression is evaluated to true, it can have optional else clause. Codes inside else clause are executed if the test expression is false. So let's see the one example. So this is a very similar syntax to the C++ Java language. So see here, we remove this import statement. So for example, my value is that number equal to 10. Then if your number is greater than 0, println this is positive number. Else println negative number. So see here, after running this code, my output is that positive number. So if there are the more than one statement, then like other languages, here use this block or the parenthesis. So this is if and the else section. If there are the more than one statement. So this is a very similar syntax to the other programming language. So again, we test this code. This is your positive number. If your number is that the -10, then see here, this is negative number. So unlike Java or other programming language, if can be used an expression in Kotlin. It return a value. So see the one example. Here we changes some code. So here var result is equal to, if number is greater than 0, then here just give the message positive number, else here message negative number. So if there is only one statement, then there is no need of defining this block. So here we remove this bracket, same here in else. So see, this is a very different syntax in Kotlin and this is a very useful. So see here, there is no need to define the println function, because if the number is greater than 0, see here my number is that -10. So check here, -10 is greater than 0, no, it is going to else, and this is your message, negative number. This message is assigned to this variable var result, means that your result is equal to negative number. Here we print your result. So see here, after running this code, this is your negative number. If my number is 10, see, this is positive number. So if can be used like an expression. So if there is only one statement in if and else, then there is another way to use this if else statement in Kotlin. See here, var result equal to if. So if there is only one statement in if and else block, then you can also define this expression in a one line. See here, this is positive number, else is assigned to this line, and again this is message negative number. So see here, after running this code, this is your output, positive number. So this is very similar to the ternary operator in C++ and Java, but there is no ternary operator in a Kotlin language. Now let's see the another example to find the maximum of two number. So here we define two variables, a equal to 5 and b equal to 6. Then here val max equal to, if a is greater than b, then here println, this is one, define here one message, a is greater than b. So here $a and $b replace the value of a and b, and in else part here println is greater than a. So here we comment this section. So let's test this code. See here 5 is greater than 6. No, it is going to else. So value of b is that the 6 is greater than 5. This is my answer. So let's test this code. 6 is greater than 5. Now here if a is greater than b, then if you want to return the value of a, then here just pass a, and here else pass b. So see here there are the more than one statement in if and else, so there is a need to use this opening closing braces. Else so this value of a and b is returned to this max variable. So this max variable here print after if else block. So see here program, value of a is that the 5, b is the 6. Check here a is greater than b. No, it is going to else block. So this message is printed 6 is greater than 5. Then value of b is that the 6 is returned to this and assigned to this max variable, and this max variable is print here. So this is my answer max. So see my output, 6 is greater than 5 and this is your 6 value. So like this way you can return your value. There is no need to define the return keyword. You can easily return the value like this way. So next one is that the nested if else. So like other programming language, Kotlin also have the option to define the nested if else statement. So now let's see the one example to find the maximum of three numbers. So here a, b and one more is that c equal to 11, and here max equal to if a is greater than b, and here one more if statement, if a is greater than c, then here maximum is that a, else max is c. Same here in else block, if a is greater than b, if this condition is false, then going to else and check here again if b is greater than c. If it is, then your max is the b, else max is that the c. So this a, b, c value are returned to this max variable. So here like this way you can easily return the value a, c, b, c, and the result is stored in this max variable, and here we print your maximum variable. So here after running this code, see your answer is that the 11. So this is the nested if else example. So here we finish the if else part. Now proceed to next control statement. So next one is that the while and the do while. So like other programming language, the syntax is very similar. So first one is that what is the loop. So loop is used in a programming to repeat a specific block of a code until the certain condition is true. So let's see the one example to print 1 to 10 numbers by using while loop. So here we remove this code. So define here var I equal to 1. So while I is less than equal to 10, here println I, then here I plus plus. So see here, first value of I is the 1. So see here 1 is less than equal to 10, true. So here print the value of I, that is the 1. Then I plus plus 2, again going to while loop, 2 is less than 10, true. Print here the value of I, 2. Then again I plus plus 2, again going to while 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So like this way 1 to 10 numbers here printed. So see output 1 to 10. So this is the very similar syntax to the other programming languages. So next see the do while loop. So in while loop, first condition is evaluated. If it is true, then going to while block. Now we have to see that the do while loop. So in do while, first compiler control going to block, and at the end of this block they check the condition. So while is the entry point loop and do while is the exit point loop. So let's see the example here. This is your do, and here while I is less than equal 10, and here there is a semicolon. So other programming languages, C, C++, Java, there is a semicolon for the do while statement. So see here, after giving this semicolon, running this code 1 to 10. But if you forget this semicolon and run this code, see here, there is not an issue. So there is no need to give the semicolon at the end of the statements. So next see the for loop. So for loop is used to iterate through range, arrays, collection, or anything that provide an iterator. So this is a different for loop in other programming language. So let's see the one example. So here we want to print the numbers 1 to 10. So for value, here no need to declare this variable, value in 1.10. So they indicate 1 to 10 range, and one by one value is going to this value variable, and here we print this value. So this loop is starting from 1 and it is going to 10. So by using this syntax, there is no need to give the condition or the increment decrement operator. So this is a very helpful syntax in a Kotlin language. So here we change these numbers, for example 20 to 30, then see here, run 20 to 30. So if your range is reverse 30 to 20, then this is not possible. See here, output is the blank. So this is not work in a Kotlin. So this range is valid only forward direction, not in a reverse direction. So let's see the another example. If you define one array, for example val is equal to numbers int array and 3, 5, 7, 9, 11 array of, and if you print this array by using for loop, then see here syntax for value in, here pass this array name numbers, and here we print the values. So see here, after running this code 3, 5, 7, 9, 11. So if you print the indexes of the every element, then number dot here indices is the property. So see indices 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. And here if you try to print the value by using the indices, then see here dollar value means that this is the index, and so numbers, and here your index means that the value. So see here your answer. So here indices 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 3, 5, 7, 9, 11 is your values. So by using this way you can print value by using the position. So next one is that the break and continue. So like other programming languages, you can break a loop by using break keyword and skip iteration by using continue keyword. So see here, this is your for loop. If here we use only values, numbers, and print here only values. So see here, if value is equal to 7, then break. So see here output. So here print 3, 5, and when your value is the 7, so this is break the loop. So same here, when you use the continue, so when value equal to 7, they skip this iteration and going to next iteration 9 and 11. So this is very similar to other programming language. So next one is that the new one in Kotlin, when expression. So Kotlin when expression is the replacement of switch statement in C++ Java, and it is very powerful than the switch statement. So let's see the one example. So for example, your value of day is equal to 4, and when here we pass the value of this day here, and like switch, here we define cases. Case number 1, println, for example, this is Sunday. So same here, case number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So see here, if your case number 1 is repeated, then see this is duplicate label in when. So here 7, and define the different messages. This is Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And in switch statement there is a default case. So here there is a else case which is similar to the default. So println, this is your invalid number or the invalid day. So see here on day 4, this is your Wednesday. So here when expression match the supplied argument with all the branches one by one until a match is found. Once a match is found, it executes the match branch. If none of the branch match, then it is going to else branch. So difference in between the switch case and the when is that here there is no need to define to give the break statement. Every case is break automatically, and there is no case keyword. So let's see the another example. Here you define every case in a block. So see here, if this is your case number 1, and if there are the more than one statement, and here define a one block. So this is the println Sunday, and here println first day of week, and if your day is that the 1, then see here output Sunday, first day of week. So like C++, you can also combine the multiple branches into the one using commas. So see here, for example, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So here we remove these cases, and if your day is that the 3, then see here Sunday, first day of week. So here we combine all 5 cases in here. The range is created by using the dot operator. We have already seen in for loop. So this range is also used in a when control statement. So let's see the one example by using range. So here we remove these cases, and for example in 1.7. So this is println Saturday. So see here, run Saturday. Means your case is in between the 1 to 7. So in keyword used to give a range. Next, second example. If day is equal to 3 and here we use this is int means that day is int means that this is the integer data type. If it is, then this is integer. Same here. Is float, is char, float, character. So here type of day is that the integer, so that's why this is an error. So here we define day colon any. So by using any means that you define any data type to this variable. So it is valid for all data types. So see here errors are going. So now by using value they set the data type as an integer. So after running this code, see this is an integer. Next, you can also give the conditions to these cases. So see here, if your number is equal to 20, we check number is greater than 0, print positive. Again here number mod 2 is equal to 0, and see this is even number. Again number is greater than 10, println greater than 10. So see all these cases are valid here. Here we pass number. So see, so there is no need to parameter. If you pass the one condition, then directly here use the when block. So see after running this code, positive. So going to one by one condition, if first condition is false, then it is automatically going to second one. Then see here 20 is greater than 0, true, so they give positive answer and automatically break this case. So break is a default statement for every case. So like this way you use here when statements. So that's why this is powerful to the switch. So here we finish all these control statements. So students, try this code on your machine. On next video we will see what is the functions and what are the different features of function in a Kotlin. So till if you have any queries, then comment on the query in comment box. Like and subscribe the channel. See you on next video. Thank you.